We have here colleagues from the National Assembly and from Mheshimiwa Senator who was mishandled. She's also here. She's been asked by our friend Matiang'i to stand in for him. Therefore, I'm making this statement on behalf of the united opposition. I'll proceed with your permission. Wazalendo wenzangu, today we speak to you not just as leaders, but as fellow Kenyans, standing with you, witnessing history unfold. We have seen the courage of our people, the determination of our youth, and the strength of truth when it refuses to be silenced. There are moments in a nation's life when ordinary citizens rise, when fear is cast aside, and when silence is no longer an option. Today, we're in one of those moments. Today, we recognize one such moment, the Gen Z uprising, a peaceful movement born of desperation and not of violence, not with anger, but with a peaceful call for change. It was a call born out of frustration, yet guided by principle and a moral clarity rooted firmly in our Constitution 2010. Fellow Kenyans, our beleaguered youth, shocked by the elected representatives last June, took to the streets and the digital spaces, armed with a bottle of water, their phones, and our national flag, not in chaos, but in moral revolt against greed, against corruption, and against injustice. They said enough is enough. Some of those representatives who waited for them, by the way, are here. The Deputy Minority Leader, the Honorable Robert Bui, Member for Kitui Rural, there, Bwana Mwalika, Bwana Mawadhe, our sister Jane from Naivasha, our sister from Kitui West, Mheshimiwa Nyenze, and of course other people. Those are the ones who were in Parliament. Not everybody actually took off when the youth visited Parliament on the 25th of June last year. Kenyans from across the country, I beg your pardon, when they said enough is enough, some of the leaders are here. They refused to accept Rutopreneurship as the modus operandi. Our youth rejected the shift mismanagement that cost their loved ones access to healthcare services. Kenyans from across the country rejected the housing levy that is nothing short of a slush fund, a scam of the highest order. Of course, we'll be going on to clarify that as part of our agenda. We will not, of course, demolish those houses. They belong to Kenyans. We will, however, do away with housing levy, and William Ruto's government has amassed so much out of that, that will be money enough to complete even those houses. But we'll have to do away with the housing levy. More so, Kenyans are against the betrayal of Vision 2030. In its place today is bottom-up Rutoism, and one that you hear of being lauded across town today, if it's not already ongoing in Parliament, by a man who delivers nothing but despair. Wazalendo wenzangu, on June 25th last year, a message reverberated not just across Kenya, but across Africa and the world. The creation of a moral movement, a reminder that leadership is service, not self-interest. Our youth were loud and clear. Accountability, transparency, and dignity were the bare minimum acceptable standards from those entrusted with leadership roles. Today, we are gathered here aligned to their wishes. Leadership is integrity, courage, and sacrifice. In this spirit, we focus on a fundamental concern today that should inform the state of the nation. And it will not be those long-winded self-congratulatory pages that are, in a nutshell, empty promises and outright lies. This afternoon, we turn the nation, indeed our region and partners' focus, to the integrity of the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, IEBC. For many years, the IEBC has struggled to earn the trust of Kenyans. This matters deeply because in any democracy, the people must have faith that their votes count and that the institutions protecting that vote are beyond reproach. Sadly, the new commission has not only escaped this challenge, the way it was appointed, escaping the spirit of consultation and concurrence the National Dialogue Committee stood for, has left many feeling that IEBC is still not above political influence. For the sake of our country, the Commission must now roll up its sleeves and prove its independence. It must work with honesty and transparency so that every Kenyan can see that it serves the people, not the interests of the executive or any political administration. We had hoped the new commissioners would take office with a single-minded determination to restore IEB's credibility. But so far, the signs are not as reassuring as Kenyans deserve. It is time for the Commission to step up for the sake of our democracy, the sake of our country, our stability, and the faith of every voter. On the issue of voter registration, we have concerns. We are deeply concerned that the IEBC has not done enough to engage the public or provide the civic education necessary for a smooth and inclusive voter registration exercise. There are several issues we must raise. Number one, the introduction of iris scanning as a mandatory requirement was rolled out without talking to an ING or properly explaining how it works. From what we hear across the country, this new system may actually be putting people off from registering. Worse still, it has created a voter register with two different standards, some with iris data, some without, raising real questions about fairness and about consistency. Number two, limiting voter registration to constituency offices during working hours only and excluding weekends is unfair to many Kenyans. Workers, teachers, students, and young people simply cannot access these services in such a short window. The IEBC must therefore change this model and carry out voter registration over the remaining period on all days of the week and at the